Hello and welcome to our Instagram Live event. The topic of today is the changing world order, time for great disorder. My name is Paul Arsoff and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web project. The topic of today is very interesting and I like to mention right away that it has been inspired by the books and articles by a very experienced US based economist and think tank founder. His name is Ray Dalio, and he's talking about the rise and fall of global empires, and one of his books is describing empires starting from the Dutch, Netherlands Empire, maybe about 17 and 1800s, and then changing this empire to the British Empire and the current empire of the US, American Empire. But we're coming to a great change, and one country which has been growing and racing as having ambition to become a global empire. The name of this country is China. This country is changing the status of the United States as a current global empire. And the timing it brings lots of changes, and there are 5 different factors that I'm going to describe. But I started talking about the topic of today, and I like to introduce myself. My name is Paul Arsoff, and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web project. Before starting to talk about the topic of today, let me tell you a little bit about our project. We're building a decentralized communication and advertising platform. When we are talking about decentralization and we are talking about next generation of internet, most of the times people who are involved into the space, people who are either investors or marketers or promoters, or just people who are curious and interested into this, they understand, their understanding is that decentralization relates to blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. I'm a technology developer, and I can tell you that this is very, very wrong. Decentralization cannot be achieved by blockchain technology because blockchain technology has lots of flaws and fundamental issues which prevent it to be a driver of decentralization and the core of next generation of internet. What blockchain technology proved to be good at is creating virtual value, but very often this virtual value is not matched and not covered with physical value. How come? How come, you would say? And I can give you a very simple 1 or 2 examples. For example, we have if we are having 20 million Bitcoin coins generated, and let's say the price of Bitcoin does increase with $1,000. Let's say the price is $25,000 stablecoin dollars for one Bitcoin coin, and the price is increasing from 25 to 26,000 stablecoin dollars. So like if we multiply like 20 million Bitcoin coins by $1,000 increase, we have 20 billion stablecoin dollars as a gain in the value. And like you can ask yourself, like we have 20 billion stablecoin dollars as an increase, but do we have increase in the paper and fiat currency to match the stablecoin dollar increase? And the answer is no, we do not have. And so like it means that the gain in value is based on virtual value. And if we're looking at the fiat currency collected by stablecoin issuers, which actually are matching the value of the, like allowing people to cash out. Like let's say people enter the crypto market, their dollars or euros or fiat UK pounds or Japanese yens, they are getting stablecoin dollars, or like they're getting other crypto coins or tokens. And so like the stablecoin issuers, be it Tether, Circle, or centralized exchanges like, for example, Binance, Kraken, and like Coinbase and other like other centralized exchanges and stablecoin issuers. These centralized exchanges and stablecoin issuers, they collect the fiat currency, and they most often put it into banks. Further, like the stablecoin issuers, when they put this collection of fiat into banks, they may further request to buy and hold their fiat portfolio into government bonds. So very big portion of the holdings of stablecoin issuers and centralized exchanges, they are held in government treasuries and specifically in US government treasuries, the so-called T-bills. The maturity timing for these US treasuries is a long period between 1 month to 1 year or more. And so like I started talking about virtual value of cryptocurrencies, and like I can tell you that the total amount collected by stablecoin issuers and centralized exchanges is less than 100 billion fiat dollars and euros and UK pounds and Japanese yens and all other national currencies. And if we're looking at the market capitalization, the total amount of the crypto market, we have a value, an amount between 1 to 2.5 trillion stablecoin dollars. So like cryptocurrencies and blockchains prove that good at creating and storing virtual value, but as I mentioned, this virtual value is not completely matched, and it is matched like in a very small extent with physical, tangible, and fiat value. But let's look at some other like issues of blockchain technology, and we can see that blockchain technology, they are slow, they have limited number of transactions, they require consensus, they're growing, continuously growing in size, which in turn makes difficult for ordinary people to hold and run nodes of blockchains. So like it limits the number of nodes which are part of the blockchain network of nodes, and further the number of nodes which are actually submitting transactions to a specific blockchain is even smaller number. So like so if we're looking at one of the blockchains, like probably the most popular blockchain, let's say Ethereum, we can count on fingers how many are the nodes which are submitting blockchain transactions. They're the nodes of centralized exchanges which are submitting transactions. There's the MetaMask node which is submitting mostly decentralized finance transactions and some other transactions as well. And we have the nodes of commercial wallet providers. So altogether we have maybe between 1 to 3 dozen nodes which are actually submitting transactions to the great blockchain of Ethereum mainnet. So like I have been talking about the flaws of blockchain technology, but what we do in our project is we have a decentralization software engine which is not based on a blockchain technology, and like we also have a blockchain instance which is specific for our project, but it is like not connected to a value, and it has tokens which are having rewards for people who are becoming users of our project. And the blockchain for our project, it plays just a support role and not a central role like in most of the other crypto projects. Like this, I did describe the technology part of our project, but a successful project depends on marketing, and we have been posting on a very long list of social networks. The list includes Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, Reddit, and Discord. From this very, very long list, we are focusing on posting on Instagram, Twitter, and Telegram. We are aiming to build a community, and to make it interesting for our community, we organize events like this every week. Every week we have an educational event on Sundays on Instagram Live, and also in the previous day on Saturdays every week we have an event happening on Twitter Space as well. So we started these educational events about maybe 5 months ago, and the topic of our very first event, which happened on Twitter Space only, was what is blockchain. The topic of the second event, which happened the following week, it happened on both Twitter Space on Saturdays and Instagram Live on Sundays, and the topic of the second event was what is a smart contract. Some of the topics of the following educational events were applying astrology into cryptocurrency trading, central bank digital currency versus ordinary crypto, confrontation is looming, decentralized finance destined to implode, big crashes in crypto, Terra Luna, Celsius, and FTX. In the end of 2022, we had 2022 reviewing crypto. In the beginning of 2023, we had predictions for crypto in 2023. We had an event of current state of artificial intelligence and the drive towards artificial general intelligence. Decentralization engines, blockchains as decentralization engines, and other decentralization engine implementations. Like in addition to the events which happen every Saturday on Twitter Space and every Sunday on Instagram Live, we have another recurring weekly event which happened on Thursday. One Thursday we have Ask Me Anything session, and on this Ask Me Anything session we answer questions on crypto market sentiment, is it going up or down? We answer questions on blockchain technology, Web3, decentralization, NFTs, general crypto, and etc. The following Thursday, we have an event which is demo day event, and on the demo day event we post what we did achieve in our project so far, what we have released, and what we have under development. And I like to tell you that we have something very, very exciting coming, and is going to be released very, very soon. We're preparing a collection of non-fungible tokens, and what is very special and very innovative and very unique about our NFT collection is that it is going to be based on three-dimensional images and objects. If we're looking at the general NFT market, most often NFTs are based on two-dimensional images which are static and they are not interactive. Basically, people can click on a link and they see an image, and that's it. But what we have in our offer is three-dimensional objects for NFTs, and these three-dimensional objects have a very long list of additional capabilities. The first capability of these three-dimensional objects is that they're interactive, like the user can click, the user can move them left, right, up, down, and they can also zoom them in or out, and they can rotate this object. In addition to this interactive capability, the object is animated. It keeps moving like without any interaction from the user, without the user clicking on the object, like the object is moving by itself in a random fashion. And in addition to this second capability of being animated, the third capability is that this NFT based on three-dimensional object has a voice. It is speaking, and it is speaking in. It can speak in three different voices, which are male voice, female voice, or whisper voice. In addition to these three basic voices, the object can speak in flavors of these voices, like in a normal speed or a fast speed or a slow speed. And in addition to the speaking capability, this three-dimensional object, it has voice recognition capability. The user can tell the object to stop moving, and the object is going to stop moving. Then the user can tell the object to start moving, and the object is going to start moving again. The user can tell the object to come closer, and the object is going to zoom in. And the user can tell the object to move away, and the object is going to zoom out. And in addition to voice recognition capability, the object has a basic artificial intelligence capability. Wow. The user can ask the object, for example, what is your name? And then the object is going to reply what is their name. The user can ask the object, who are you? And then the object is going to respond with answer on who they are. The user can ask the object, for example, describe something, describe Web3 or describe decentralization or describe Russia. And then the object is going to describe the country called Russia. So we did describe a very, very long list of capability, but let me tell you about the last and probably one of the most important capabilities. Many of you went to movie theaters and they saw actual three-dimensional movies. In order to see these movies, they were given glasses, and with these special glasses, they saw actual shape. The movie was projected on a flat screen, but with these glasses, they were seeing the actual three-dimensional shape of things which were projected on the screen. And I like to mention that we are adding a stereoscopic capability to the three-dimensional objects which we are planning to release. And this stereoscopic capability, together with glasses which are based on one eye with red color and one eye with blue color. These glasses are based on color separation, and based on these glasses, people can actually see them these three-dimensional objects into their shape. So three-dimensional objects currently which are offered, they're projected into a flat 2D screen, and the user can use their imagination to actually see the actual shape of the object. But together with these glasses, which are based on color separation, the users, they can see the actual three-dimensional shape as they're seeing shapes in the real world. So this is the last capability which we have in our NFT objects, and this is very, very exciting offer which is coming for our project. But like in addition to these three-dimensional NFT objects, which we're going to release very soon, we have the release of we have the release also of NFT marketplace. And what is interesting and unique about our marketplace is that it is going to have people buying, and when they bought, they can sell what they bought, buying and selling their NFTs based on three-dimensional objects with multiple cryptocurrencies, and also with fiat currency. So this is very interesting and very innovative because most of the NFT marketplaces, when some project they put their collection, they're actually putting their collection on a single blockchain, and like the buying and then selling of NFTs are based on only one specific crypto coin or token. But what we have is like in our marketplace, we're going to offer buying and selling in multiple cryptocurrencies. The users are not covering and paying gas fees because we're placing the NFTs on our own blockchain, and the value is actually disconnected from the blockchain. The value is either into cryptocurrency or it is in fiat currency as well. And like people holding, like people wanting to buy our three-dimensional NFTs, they can buy this either with a credit card or they can buy this with a bank account transfer as well. But enough talking about our project. I can invite you to come and become part of our community. And in order to do this, you can go to our website, which is decentralizedweb.org. Decentralized and web, there are two words, decentralizedweb.org. And like on the bottom of every page of our website, you can see the icons of the social networks that we're posting on. And you can then click on one or more of these icons and become a follower, get notifications of our initiative and upcoming events, and also you can become part of the community and get involved into what we do in our project, like us meeting sessions, demo days, and the educational events as well. But enough talking about our project. Let's come back to the topic. And the topic of today is um, the changing world order, a time for great disorder. As I mentioned, this topic of today was inspired by the books and articles of a great economist based in the US. His name is Ray Dalio, and he is describing the rise and fall of global empires and the uh, current confrontation and challenging between the uh, empire, the global empire of the present moment, which is the United States, and the upcoming global empire, which is China. Um, so one of the latest articles of Ray Dalio, it is describing 5 different factors, and I'm going to describe these 5 different factors, and these factors, they're creating instability in the world, and they're creating disorder, and disorder can escalate or get less significant. So we don't know yet how is it going to turn out, but let's go back to these 5 different factors, and factor number 1 is the great accumulation of debt by the countries and governments in the world. The second factor is internal tensions in politics and polarization in the internal politics of countries. The third factor is global confrontations and tensions forming of 2 big world blocs, and possible confrontation which can spill in a world war. The fourth factor is global events like global pandemic and economic crashes and crises like inflation, current going inflation in the world. And the fifth factor is the influence of technology and rapid change created by technology, and specifically the changes brought by offers of artificial intelligence and robotics. These offers are going to make lots of people underemployed or unemployed, and the governments of the world have to take measures so that they support people who are losing or lost their jobs. But let's come back to the 5 different factors and describe them in detail. As I mentioned, the first factor is the great accumulation of debt. And if you're looking at the history of the world, the first banking, first banking which created modern day banking was the banking done by the family in Italy called Medicis, and they did accumulate great wealth, and they also decided to lend this wealth to people who are doing trade or people who are doing like uh, government running at that time, or they lend it to rulers like kings, queens, and like big and important people in the hierarchy at that time. But like at that time, the lending was done in a way that the loan was issued, and then the people who were getting this loan, they could use it, for example, to buy some goods. Then they were selling these goods, and then they were returning the loan with interest. And after returning the loan, the bankers at that time, they could loan the money again. Um, but what changed from that initial form of banking to the present day banking is that no longer people who got the loans, they have to use the loans, they have to repay the loan in part or in full, and after repaying, the bank can lend this money again. No longer banks are doing this, but what banks are doing is they lend specific loan to, for example, somebody who wants to buy a house, and the person who bought the house, then they are repaying this loan for a long period of maybe 30 years, or a smaller period of time, maybe 10 or 20 years. But during this time, the bank is not waiting for repayment of this loan. The bank is actually telling the central bank to issue additional monetary supply, and the next person who wants to buy a house, they have a loan to get, and they can start then slowly repaying this loan for the period of 10 or 20 or 30 years. So what happens in present day banking is that people are no longer required to repay the loan, so that the bank can lend the repaid money again to people. So what banks are doing is they're asking the central banks to create monetary supply, and with this monetary supply, they're giving loans to people, organizations, businesses, and etc. So what happens with the loans is that at good times, people can repay regularly what they have to pay during the period of time they're paying these loans. But in times of economic difficulties, and recession, and slow down in economy, people are no longer able to repay these loans. And what people can do is they can go into bankruptcy, and then the banks are stuck with some assets, a house or an apartment, which they got partial payments for this asset, but they do not have the rest of the amount they lend to the specific person. And so what they have is they have to write off this loan, and it actually accumulates, and like this debt which is given to the given from central banks, which created the monetary supply to banks. This loan cannot be repaid and has to be written off. And if we're looking with the time, like this debt continuously accumulates, and like what we have in addition to like slowly repayment of the loans, we have additional loans done by national governments. And for example, some national governments, they, like every year, they have to create a budget, and this budget has to be in theory, it has to be balanced. Balancing means that like national governments, they collect tax revenues, and they collect revenues by selling of bonds for the government. And like this is one side of collected amount, and on the other side, like the government has a budget for like expenses, like for example national defense, healthcare, and like road repairs, government running salaries, and etc. And a variety of government agencies which they have to give some budget to these agencies so that they can operate and they can do what is their mandate. And so, like what happens very often with national governments is that like national governments continuously year after year, they borrow more money than they have into like collection of tax revenue plus selling of bonds. And year after year, this accumulation of the debt, national debt, which is a summary of the debt by like write-offs by non-performing loans, and together with debt accumulated by national governments in order to operate the country, operate the government and the agencies of the country. So like this is a big issue because there is a continuous accumulation of debt, and this debt becomes a burden for governments to carry, because in theory they have to repay these loans. And for a country like the United States, the repayment is easy because they have the loans done into like their national currency, which is the United States dollar. But like some other countries in the world, they have their loans denominated into US dollars, and they have to repay the loans in US dollars. Or they could be having their loans denominated in euros, and they have to repay these loans in euros. So the other countries in the world, they're into much disadvantaged position compared to the US government, because they have to exchange their national currency to other currencies like euro or the United States dollar, and like this leads to like big purchases. They lead to like a little or a lot of devaluation of the national currency of a country. And so, let's go back to the next factor. We can stop talking about the first factor, which was national debt. And the second factor is great internal tensions in politics of the country. So if we take the examples of the United States, we have two major political parties like the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and we can see in the politics that we have a great polarization in these two political parties. On one hand, we have people on the left, which are mostly in the Democratic Party, and we have people on the right, which are conservative, and they're mostly from the Republican Party. And we have going into extremes of people actually putting on hold decision making in governments because they're the current government is of one party, and they belong to another party, and they do not like what the ruling party is doing. So what happens is, for example, in order to get important decisions made, the party which has a majority, in one chamber, which is, for example, the Congress, they could push this agenda into one of the chambers of the government. But this government should be ratified by the other chamber, and the other chamber, if it has majority of the other party, then it is not going to get ratified. So what happens in this case is important decisions which have to be made by governments and the country. They're not made because of the political tensions between one party and the other party. So what happens is people on the left who are liberal and people on the right who are conservative, they're actually not coming closer together to make a decision, but actually they're going further away to the extremes. And so we have the case of liberals who are actually supporting Bernie Sanders, who is talking about socialism, and I was born in actual socialist country, and after this I did live for a very long time in the United States, and I can tell you that socialism is actually birthed in the United States. So people who are supporters of socialism in the United States, I think they rely on an extreme position and extreme supporters. And if you're looking at the other side, we can see extreme conservatives, and these extreme conservatives, they're actually they did dislike the initiative of president, former President Barack Obama, which did like some initiatives regarding to the national healthcare. So what happened with the following president is like many of these initiatives they were actually discarded, and like the like decisions taken for the great medical care are not going to be moving forward, and like in addition to these positions, like the conservatives, like they're taking even more extreme positions, like illustrated by supporters of former President Donald Trump, with the building of a wall between United States and Mexico, and like taking extreme measures in immigrations and etc. So I did describe the second great disorder, which is a factor of the five disorders, but let's go to the third one. And the third one is great tensions between two major countries, and like the great tensions between the United States and China. So if we look at the history of the United States and China, like if we're looking at the history of the United States emerged as one of the two big victors in the World War II. The second big victor in the World War II was the Soviet Union, and like the Soviet Union and the United States, they had like blocks formed around the Soviet Union, the so-called Eastern Bloc, and like it also has a military alliance called Warsaw Pact, and the United States it had a bloc of Western countries located in Western Europe, and the military alliance called NATO. In order to reduce the influence of the Soviet Union and the Eastern Bloc, the United States had an initiative of then, like the first initiative was the first step towards this initiative was done by U.S. President Nixon, and he went to China and he did extend a hand, and like he was talking with like the Chinese then Chinese ruler called Mao Zedong, and like this initial act of friendship did allow China to start economic reforms, and these economic reforms led to a country which was very poor, and it was ally of the Soviet Union. Like this country did distance itself from the Soviet Union, and was doing a more independent policy and not directly allied with Soviet Union. So like at that time, in the 1970s, the United States did achieve the objective of splitting and separating China from the bloc of the Soviet Union and like allies of the Soviet Union. But China did start the rapid economic growth, and it became an economic powerhouse. At the present moment, we can safely say that China is the factory of the world, and like at the point they were starting, they had investments coming from the United States and Western countries, and these investments then were followed by investments by big and small companies which decided to outsource their manufacturing from like their country to China. Initially, China has was doing only assembly of products, and most of the products they were importing assemblies, importing parts, and then they were assembling these parts in China. But currently, China has like assembly of the 90% of the parts of products which China is doing assembly of is actually internally manufactured in China. So that like China has the like hold of maybe like 90% of the goods which like they're like done from the beginning to end, almost from beginning to end, they're done internally in China. And after being like assembled and produced in China, they're exported throughout the world. So very few countries they can compete with this, and very few countries can take part of the whole having the whole chain from like the initial parts to the end product. They could have this internally. Most of the other countries which are like emerging competitors, be it like India, or be it Vietnam, or being Thailand, or being Mexico, most of the countries that I mentioned, they have to import most of the parts they are having into the end product, and also they do not have the whole chain handled as it is done in China. So like we can safely say that no country can replace in the time to come the efficiency of China and the whole chain from like being to end of making of a product. But like China became economic powerhouse, and with this becoming, they became a great competitor of the United States. Currently, if we are measuring the output in the United States dollars, we can say that the United States is the economy number one, and China is economy number two. But if we measure the output not in the United States dollars, but in other currencies, or in actual products and output of the country, we can say that already China is number one economy in the world based on their output of the economy, output as products and services. And like with this economic competition between two countries, this competition is spilling into trade war. The United States is taking measures to slow down the rapid growth of China, and they're doing this with sanctions and like import duty of certain products of China and leveling sanctions of specific big companies in China. These tensions are followed by reciprocal measures taken by China against some US companies and some like exports to the United States and other countries of the world, like, for example, Australia. And these economic tensions and competitions between US and China, they're also spilling into military tensions and military confrontation. China has ambition to have a big presence in the seas, and they're building artificial islands which are going to allow them to have a military base for their navy, like some further away from the mainland China, so that they have access to the Pacific Ocean outside of the Great Barrier formed between Japan to Philippines and Australia. So these tensions are increased also by the ambition of China to reunite with Taiwan, and so the unification in the goal of unification with Taiwan is a political goal of China, but if we're looking at the economy of Taiwan, a very significant part of the economy of Taiwan is built on semiconductor manufacturing. Actually, Taiwan is the country which has maybe about 2/3, little more or little less, of the semiconductor manufacturing of the world. And if China takes over Taiwan and does reunification, China may decide to stop delivering semiconductors to developed countries like the United States, Australia, or some other countries which are allies. And this leads to the United States being a big supporter of Taiwan, and it also leads to forming of blocks of countries which are allies with the United States and block of countries which are allies with China. On one hand, we have allies of China in the face of Russia and Iran and North Korea and some other countries which are close neighbors to China and Russia. On the other hand, we have the block of countries like allies with the United States, and we have Australia as a very far supporter of the United States. We have Japan, which is threatened by China. feeling threatened by China. And we have also countries which are members of NATO, because according to the NATO charter, if one country goes into war, all of the other NATO countries, they have to come into help of this country which is going into war. So the third factor is the great confrontation between US and China, which is current economic confrontation, and it is spilling into military tensions and potential of world war. So this is the third factor, but let's go further to the fourth factor. And the fourth factor is global events like the pandemic, which started in 2020, and it did affect the whole world. The world pandemic led to closures of economies, total closures of economies, and closures of trading, and people staying at home to wait out for the pandemic to go away. And this slowdown, which took part in 2020 and 2021, led to breakdown into the pipeline of the economy, and then we had slow restart of the economy to start moving and producing goods again. Because of this shortage of the goods, and also increase in energy prices, this led to inflation, which also did affect the whole world. Currently, we have raging inflation in Europe, US, and the rest of the world. To take this to slow down the inflation, then national governments and US and national central banks, they took the measures of increasing the lending rate, and this lending rate affected the bond market, and in turn it led to banks being close to bankruptcy or going into bankruptcy. In order to solve this crisis, then central banks, they allowed instant maturity of the bonds, and banks being able to cash out on the bonds they did purchase. By this, but this instant cash out, it comes with conditions of repayment after a period of time for about 1 year. So we have a sequence of events which they start as a health issue, and they spill into economic issue, and they spill into banking issue, and then they spill into inflation, and these issues, they affect the whole world as well, and they lead to disorder, not in a single country but in the whole world. And let's look at the fifth factor, and the fifth factor is the influence of technology. And if we're looking at around the end of 2022. In November, there was a company called OpenAI, and this company released something, a product and a service called ChatGPT. And this product, it allows people to type something, and then based on the artificial intelligence, they reply back with much larger size. For example, a person can write a couple of sentences, and then they have a whole article or a whole email prepared and answered by an artificial intelligence. So in addition to this offer, we have offers of people writing some prompt with one or more sentences, and as a result we have an image which is a result of this text written by a person. So these type of offers, which are created by artificial intelligence, will allow companies to reduce their number of employees which are dealing with marketing. So instead of having one or more marketers who are creating content, they're writing articles and they're posting emails, we can have just a single person who is writing prompts, and then they're getting whole articles, or they're getting multiple emails created. In addition to this offer, like companies, they have one or more graphics designers who are creating graphics which are posted then as a content for a specific business. Instead of having multiple graphics designers, like a company can have one person who is writing prompts, and they not only get articles in text, but they could get images made by this artificial intelligence, and like these images, they're replacing several graphics designers for a company. In addition to these offers of writing content, there are some offers of artificial intelligence where a person can request some request creating of a program, and then the artificial intelligence is going to return the code written in a specific language of a program which does a specific functionality. And this code can replace maybe one or more programmers who are working for a specific company and business. So I give the example of artificial intelligence replacing content creators, graphics designers, and programmers. We also have the example of a company called Tesla, and they have the ambition to create self-driving cars. And these self-driving cars, at the point they do advance sufficiently, they can replace drivers for taxi cabs and drivers of trucks based on the self-driving capability, and this self-driving capability are based on artificial intelligence programs and creations. So I gave the examples of artificial intelligence replacing a number of jobs and taking over number of jobs. We have advancement in robotics as well, and robotics has potential to replace also many jobs. We have warehouses where, like currently, people have to go to the shelves and then they pull a specific product and then they package this product and they ship this product. So what could happen is replacement of these people working in warehouses with robots who are going to pick products and they're going then to pack these products and then these products it is possible to be delivered in automated way by drones who can drop this specific product at the porch of the house of a specific specific person. So they can deliver these products directly to a person. And so I gave the example of programs and artificial intelligence and robotic creations who are replacing lots of human jobs. So humans who got their jobs taken over by artificial intelligence, they are looking for jobs, but they're going to find, probably soon, where the number of underemployed and unemployed people is going to be bigger than the number of employed people. And I think this is the fifth factor which is going to bring a great disorder in the world. And that's about the ending of describing of these 5 different factors who are in the time of change in the world, and they have the possibility to bring a great disorder in the world. I can repeat all 5 factors. The first factor is the great accumulation of debt. The second factor is internal tensions in the world, political tensions in the world. The third factor is tensions between 2 major countries, US and China, and blocks of countries allied with these 2 countries. The fourth factor is global issues like pandemics, economic crisis, and inflations and recessions. And the fifth factor is the influence of technology, artificial intelligence, and robotics. I'm going to wrap up our event. Thank you for coming. Once again, my name is Paul Arsov. I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web Project. We are building a decentralized communication advertising platform. We have a release of very exciting 3-dimensional NFTs, and we're inviting you to come and join our community. We can find our community on the web pages on our website, which is decentralizedweb.org. On the bottom of every page of decentralizedweb.org, you can see the icons of the social networks that we're posting. You can click on one or more, become a follower, and be part of the community. Thank you for coming to this event. Have a nice day, have a nice evening, and goodbye.